All right, so we got High Marshal Helbrecht, explained by an Australian. Hopefully, I said his name right. Let's get into it, man.
G'day guys and gal. The Black Templars are widely considered to be the most powerful Space Marine chapter in the Imperium. They have the Emperor's champions, which are hand-selected warriors blessed by their god, Grimaldus, a man too stubborn to die, way more Marines than they should due to the technicality.
I say, so I say, I say, so I say. Wow, wait, is this real ice or what? Or is this plastic? Listen, brother, if it's plastic, I'm not judging at all. Listen, if you add a little, fingernail polish for like a little shine or whatever, I'm not mad at you. I'm just trying to see. Okay, listen, Majorkill, he got some shine on in this video. He got some bling on in this video. Okay,
they have High Marshal Helbrecht,
got some
one of
ice
the
on.
greatest warriors and generals in the Imperium. This guy was so vital to the Imperium and of such a massive asset that when he was a child, the Emperor brought his shattered consciousness together for enough time to tell the Custodian Guard to protect the boy and ensure he would live long enough to be recruited by the Black Templars. Helbrecht is an absolute legend of the Imperium and is genuinely considered to be one of the best naval commanders in all of humanity. Need I say more? This man deserves his own video. Before we get started,
I mean, he's pretty cool. He sounds like he's pretty cool, but obviously, he's not up there with Vulcan.
the sale of the legendary Burning Hand of Vengeance continues and only has a couple days left, then it's done. Kaput. You miss out, silly boy. This model took a year of producing, refining, and testing to get perfect, and it was worth every effort. The detail is insane, but also translates beautifully to tabletop scale. There are a ton of weapon and head variants, so you can really make him your own, and you can even decide if you want to have the standalone version, where he's by himself, or the diorama version, featuring a bunch of sluzz marines eating shit. You can actually mix and match the two versions if the 3 marines is too many. The choice is yours. The customization doesn't stop there though, as the model is available in 4 different scales. The tabletop scale for wargaming or army painting, the 75mm art scale for those that want.
Now, I did get like a little bit more information about like these paintings and stuff like that. Obviously, this is like a promo type of thing, but it is what it is. They're not very like expensive, whatever, but at the same time, they do cost a little bit of money.
So if you think at any point in your life,
like everything else,
then now
that is cool though.
We also
That's
made
very
the Sluzz
cool.
Marines their own standalone models because they
That's
were
very
starting
cool
to themselves. Burning Hand will only be around until this weekend, so this is your last chance. Link is below. Today we'll go over the lore of High Marshal Helbrecht and why he is truly the master of weaponized autism. Let's get into it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't do the let's get into it, yo. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm kind of like, still like trying to keep afloat. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't do that. My throat's a little bit like it's in that phase. You get what I'm saying?
Many characters within 40k have humble beginnings, and through hard effort, a strong will, and constantly failing and improving, they become the legends they are today.
He got some
Characters
big
like
ass
Dante
feet.
spring to mind here. However, some characters are chosen by destiny and are just ridiculously overpowered from the get-go, like Abaddon. Helbrecht take this a step further, as he was literally hand-chosen by the God Emperor. You could argue that it was a somewhat humble beginning, as he was born in an underhive of a world no one gives a fuck about. However, he was secretly watched over by the Aquilian Shield as a youth. The Aquilian Shield are a shield host of custodians who are tasked by the Emperor or Doomscries, which is kind of more or less the Emperor as well, to watch over and protect certain individuals in the Imperium. These individuals would usually then go on to achieve amazing things or be pivotal in massive Imperial victories. Now you may be curious how the big skeletal Emperor tells his custodians to do this. Well, sometimes he is able to cohere himself briefly in order to speak to certain custodians in their dreams. These custodians, the emissaries Imperialis, shield host, then convene and discuss the dreams until the message is determined. They then pass the message over to the Aquilian Shield if it's appropriate. On the other side of the coin, there is also the Doomscries, powerful Psykers who constantly look through the warp to try to detect threats before they emerge. They also inform the Aquilian Shield about who they should protect to avoid disaster. So the Aquilian Shield have 2 options for intel. For Helbrecht, it was the Doomscries who told the Aquilian Shield of him. But I digress. The Aquilian Shield watched over Helbrecht from the shadows his entire youth and ensured he would be found and recruited by the Black Templars. From here, Helbrecht absolutely jettisoned through the Black Templars hierarchy. He was extremely stubborn, violent, and loved killing bitches. All traits greatly valued by the Black Templars.
I mean, like, if I'm being honest with you, that really doesn't surprise me because, like, bro, I mean, let's be honest. That's damn near like every single character in Warhammer. Obviously, besides Vulcan. But I mean, if I'm being honest with you, bro, he has the picture perfect, attitude and attributes for somebody that belongs in Warhammer 40k. So, am I surprised? No.
As a neophyte, he held the line against the Tyranids at Deathcore Ridge. He slaughtered the Cow's death cult on Pellegrin 4, and soon after this he was promoted to Sword Brethren, which is like a veteran after clapping some Edward Cullen Twilight-looking motherfucker. Soon after this, his Marshal Diadin, Helbrecht's commander for the Crusade, was slain. with Helbrecht taking his place. So in only a few decades, Helbrecht had gone from initiate to Marshal, an extremely rapid rise in a very competitive chapter. After about a century
Was he like
so
a prodigy
outstanding
or no?
service, the current High Marshal Khorne was killed by a spastic Astartes berserker. Gotta watch out for those. With Helbrecht being unanimously voted in to become the new High Marshal of the Black Templars. He was given the Sword of the High Marshals, not exactly the most exciting name, however it did contain fragments of Rogal Dorn's own sword within it, so it was seen as pretty cool. Helbrecht's first action solidified him as the most hectic, full-send dude in all of 40k, as he declared crusade against these random-ass aliens living in the Ghoul Stars. For context, the Ghoul Stars are extremely out of the way, and the threats within the Ghoul Stars usually stay there, but Helbrecht was like, fuck it, it's genocide time. So they initiated the Ghoul Stars Crusade and genocided pretty much all Scythor fiends.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, and listen, I can't lie to you. When I get like a little tired, or whatever, I start to get very blunt. So forgive my words and forgive my attitude. But it sounds like he just wanted the easy battle. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really think this guy's so great after all. I mean, if that's the case, if you have to go to like another part of like the universe, whatever, just to bother and obviously, like I said before, this is Warhammer. Everybody named Mama do it, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna criticize this guy for doing it as well because obviously Vulcan literally could never. But if you legit had to go to like a different part of the universe just to pick on them, just to cause genocide on them and stuff like that, I'm gonna be honest with you, that sounds like a weak move if I'm being real.
Blowing up many worlds in the process. The Crusade
Bro think he Frieza
was going down on Armageddon, and the Black Templars had to abandon this random side quest. Gazkel had returned to Armageddon, so the Third War was kicking off. Helbrecht was given overall command due to being the most qualified, and who the fuck is going to say no to Helbrecht? He dominated the Orcs in the Void by personally leading some of the most daring boarding actions in history. After some hard fighting and legendary last stands, the Orcs left Armageddon to continue their own conquest elsewhere, but Helbrecht didn't hear no bell. He and Yarrick chased Gazkel and were hellbent on his destruction. They even managed to corner the flagship and were going to destroy it, but Gaz managed to slip into the warp and kick off his legendary war regardless. But a man that can make the Prophet of Gork and Mork run is a man you don't want to fuck with. Helbrecht isn't just beefing with random ghoulish Xenos and Orcs though. He went face to face with Imhotep the Stormlord, greatest of the Necron commanders. Helbrecht was ruthless and brilliant, but so was Imhotep. The two war leaders tried to outmaneuver each other and eventually came face to face in combat. Amazingly, Helbrecht was actually the greater warrior, landing devastating blow after blow on Imhotep. However, Imhotep's extremely advanced necrodermis body meant he was constantly regenerating, and after a long fight, Helbrecht collapsed from exhaustion.
I mean, brother, like what do you expect? I mean, bro, you're not Vulcan. Like Vulcan, bro, he would put the bro down immediately, bro. He would, as a matter of fact, bro, Vulcan literally has like unlimited stamina.
Imhotep was so impressed with.
Pause. Oh my, what did I just say? Oh, I just said another man has unlimited stamina. Oh my.
Finishing him off, he sliced off his hand and kicked him down a hill, a sign of respect and disrespect in equal measure. Helbrecht was something beyond furious. He had lost the duel and the battle. There would be vengeance. Vengeance would come soon as Helbrecht caught Imhotep's fleet off guard. His tactics this time were less cautious. He simply shot the engine of Imhotep's ship, stopping it from escaping, before going full Leroy Jenkins and boarding it. Overwhelmed by so much autism, Imhotep teleported to safety, but his flagship was then jettisoned into a nearby star. Helbrecht's vengeance had not yet been satisfied, but blowing up the enemy ship is a good start. This brings us to the current setting. When the Great Rift opened, many Black Templar fleets were scattered. The frustrated Helbrecht wanted to keep chasing Gaz, ignoring the countless pleas for help from countless Imperial worlds. However, when Guilliman caught up with Helbrecht, he reminded the High Marshal of his oath to the Emperor and the Imperium, that he should set aside his personal vendettas for the good of mankind. Helbrecht agreed and called off his pursuit of Gaz. He then split up his forces and has begun liberating world after world, in the name of Rogal Dorn and the Emperor. Helbrecht's Crusaders personally engaged and destroyed Tyranid and Orc forces, with Helbrecht personally slaying war boss Tusker Grobwork.
Okay, alright, so the monkey follows orders. Okay, I mean, alright, listen. I'll give it to him. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm this guy's biggest fan or his biggest hater or nothing like that. But I thought he was like one of those guys that was like, oh, okay, cool. Like they started off like pretty cool or whatever. And then they got like too hot headed, and then they can like beat everybody. Because obviously he couldn't be Vulcan, if it's like depending on it. But all right, cool. I mean, all right, he can listen. He can listen to to Daddy upstairs. Okay.
Unlike a number of other big chapters,
I understand that.
And Dark Angels, who were pretty against the Primaris at the start, the Black Templars, especially Helbrecht, were like, fuck yeah, more Marines for Eternal Crusade, let's go. There was one instance of a Black Templar Crusade fleet rejecting their Primaris, killing them and the custodian that delivered them. Yep, it was pretty silly, but overall the Black Templars are just happy to be at war. After all, Helbrecht himself has recently been upgraded to a Primaris Marine, making him even girthier. What does Helbrecht bring into battle with him?
He's a Primaris Marine, huh? Whoa. Why did he get upgraded? See, yo, Game Workshop, what are you guys doing, bro? The only person, listen, the only Primarch, the only being that should be upgraded, bro. There's two beings, the Emperor and Vulcan. I'm just keep it real with you. I'm being dead serious too, yeah, bro. I'm being dead serious. Like, come on, bro. This is ridiculous.
For Chapter Master, he wears master-crafted Artificer
Bro,
armor,
he should
which
get
is just a
demoted.
flat
Like,
form
bro,
upgrade
he's
from
not worth a
normal
bag of
space
lazy
armor.
potato
Although in
chips.
especially spicy circumstances, he can choose to wear Terminator armor. Helbrecht also brings the Sword of the High Marshals into all battles. Although it's a sign of office, it's also a legendary blade with very few that can rival its power. Helbrecht also doesn't slack when it comes to maintaining his sword either. He constantly has genetically modified gimp slaves following him around with multi-purpose spray and wipes in order to constantly clean his sword, even while it's literally lodged in the chest of an orc. Helbrecht also has a combi melter, which is an insane
Yo, is this
weapon
guy
for English
good?
have on him. It would be powerful enough to one-shot Terminators, or if used correctly, a Dreadnought. He also has an Iron Halo, which is a force field, making him even harder to kill, along with an assortment of grenades. It's hard to argue that he lives purely off plot armor when he is so heavily armed and armored. Skill is awesome to have, but a force field, hectic armor, a big-ass sword, and a combi melter definitely don't hurt either. The Black Templars have some of the most awesome characters, Sigismund and Grimaldus being a few examples, so it's awesome to see they have a chapter master who can back it all up. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the
Shout out to Majorkill, man. I mean, something that can one-shot Dreadnoughts definitely sounds pretty dangerous, man. Comment down below what do you guys think about this. I'm going to see you guys every time out, and peace out.